Okay, so right now we're just going to look at how to calculate the circumference of a series of circles that we have been given. And the first thing we need to recognize is what information they have actually chosen to give us in this question. And we remember that if we have a circle and we have a line to the center point to any point on the outside of the circle, this is the radius. And we also remember that if we drew a line that bisected the circle in some way, that this would be the diameter. So if we drew a circle and I drew this here is the diameter. And if I were to do it another way, like this is also the diameter. And there's an important relationship between the diameter and the radius, namely that the radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. So what they've given us here is 3 circles and 3 groups and 3 diameters, and from this we can work out the radius, because we remember that ultimately in order to find the circumference of a circle we need to use the formula c equals 2 pi r, where 2 pi r means 2 times pi times the radius. So let's look at the first one, which we'll call A. So in this case, in A, the diameter is equal to 25. So, in order to find the radius, we divide 25 by 2, which is going to give us 12.5. Now that we solve for the radius, we can solve for the circumference of the circle, where c is going to be equal to 2 times pi times 12.5, which is equal to, well, we'll just bring up our calculator and we'll have a look. 2 times pi times 12.5. Then hit the change button. So it's going to equal 78.53. We're just going to round this to 2 decimal places, so it's going to be 78.54 centimeters. Let's have a look at B. Well, in B, the diameter is equal to 10 meters. That means our radius is going to be equal to 10 divided by 2 meters, and that is equal to 5 meters. So in order to solve, now we just fill in the formula. Circumference is equal to 2 times pi times 5, which is equal to, all clear, 2 times pi times 5, which is equal to 31.41, but the critical digit is 5, so we round up to 31.42. 0.42 meters. Alright, so let's quickly make some space. Let's just make some space. So, let's look at our last one, C. So even though we don't have a line that goes through this, we do know that from the highest point on the circle to the lowest point on the circle is 7.4 meters. And what this means, what this is ultimately telling us, is this is actually just an alternative way that we could define the diameter without drawing a line inside the circle. So this is also the diameter, which means that that is equal to 7.4, and we know that the radius is half of that, so the radius equals 7.4 over 2, which is equal to 3.7. Now we can solve for our circumference, which is going to be equal to 2 times pi times 3.7, which is equal to, well, let's plug that into the calculator and have a look. 2 times pi times 3.7 equals, and then change it to a decimal, 23.24, but we're going to round up the final digit because the critical digit is a 7, so it's 23.25. 0.25, and do not forget the units, and that's meters. So when we have just the diameter, we need to remember the relationship between the radius and the diameter in order to solve for the circumference. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.